In this video, we will be looking at the operation and setup of an RF compliance.
Here we have the main controls of an RF compliance. We have the green and red start-stop button for turning on and off the conveyor. We have the test button for feeding one product and the run button for feeding products consistently. There is also an emergency stop for stopping the whole system. On the screen we have the main conveyor speed, which is the speed that the main conveyor runs at, and below that we have the shingling conveyor speed, which is the outfeed conveyor. We have the production count, which is the amount of products that have fed through the machine. And we have big screen saying ready to start. You will also see some icons down the right hand side of the screen. First one being home, the second one being the batch source. From here you can load from a database, design, or do a quick run to show and go. When we use the quick run, it asks us do we want to use the camera and the amount of product we would like. We click play. It might take a few seconds to load. Clicking the next button down on the right hand side, we can get to the statistics. From here we have the batch quantity, which is the total amount of products you'd like to run. Stack quantity, a smaller stack inside that. The total produced, which is divided into good and rejected products. The left in batch is the total amount left, and the reset counts button will reset all of those values on the right hand side. Now we're going to look at what happens when we turn the conveyor on and run one product. We're going to click the green run button, and then once the conveyor is moving and the test button is illuminated, we can click that. Once the product is fed down the conveyor, the camera should flash, and we can click on the camera button on the right hand side to view the camera picture. Then we can take this selection box, highlight over all of the data we would like it to scan, click OK to prove that what it's printed is correct, and then click train to train it to remember to do that. And again, this may take a few seconds to load. Once the train button is no longer depressed, you're good to go. Below that we have the minimum match score. This is a percentage of which we would like it to match with our print. For pixels to paper, 80% is very good. We hit test again, it feeds a new product which has a green border around it to show that it is good. Then feed another one, which in this case is bad, which has a red border around it. This product would then be rejected down the reject flap. Now to look at errors on the machine. If we hit the emergency stop, you'll notice a symbol appear above the home button on the right hand side of the touchscreen. Hitting the home button, we can see that it says emergency stop active, and that the red and green buttons cannot be pressed. To reset this emergency stop, we must twist the button to release it, and then hit this button at the bottom of the screen to tell the HMI to rescan for any errors. When no errors are detected, the system will say ready to start.
On the camera and printer of the RF compliance, there are dial indicators. These will display a value to indicate the position of the camera or printer. This is helpful when changing between different products, as you can realign your camera or printer back to its original position. This can also be fitted on the hopper dependent upon machine. To set our product up, we're going to place the product on the rollers. To set the gating, we have these 4 fingers. We only want to use 2 of these fingers dependent upon the size of the product. As this is a larger product, we're going to use the 2 outside fingers. Simply loosen off the screw on the back and then let them drop down. Once they've dropped, tighten them back in place. Gravity is acting as your main aid here. Then we can adjust these hopper plates in by loosening the handle on the back of those. And then once they're in place on the side of the product, simply tighten them back in place. Then we can get the center guide, simply slot that over the bar and lock it in place with the handle on the back. You should now be able to operate your RF compliance. For further guidance on how to use the machine, please contact Rotech support.